I didn't get the fairy tale ending that I've always dreamed of. And still now, I think back on, could I have done everything differently? Could I have worked harder? Could I have done something different? But that's looking at it in all the wrong ways. I gave so much of myself for wrestling, and especially here in college. And I've won some cool things, and I've lost a lot of big moments. But when I look at what I've done, my life, it's a lot bigger than the wins and the losses.
Cayden Henschel was born on October 24, 2001 in Wisconsin. From a young age, wrestling was more than just a sport to him. It was a family tradition. His journey on the mat began in first grade, inspired by the strong wrestling culture within his family. His father, Brent Henschel, played a pivotal role in his development, not just as a parent, but as a coach. Brent was the head coach during Cayden's high school years, and the sport had deep roots in the family even before that. Cayden's grandfather had also been involved in coaching, assisting during Brent's own high school career. Beyond just having a coach at home, Cayden had a built-in training partner, his older brother, Bryce. The two grew up pushing each other to improve, wrestling in their backyard, basement, and anywhere they could find space. This sibling rivalry helped sharpen Cayden's skills early on and instilled in him the competitive mindset that would carry him through his wrestling career. Growing up, Cayden quickly developed a love for the sport. However, success didn't come easy. Like many young wrestlers, he faced tough losses, grueling practices, and moments where quitting seemed like an option. But the foundation of discipline and resilience instilled by his family kept him going. Wrestling wasn't just about winning for Cayden. It was about constant improvement, the pursuit of excellence, and carrying on a family legacy. In his youth, Cayden became known for his aggressive style and technical precision. He started competing in local and state tournaments, quickly making a name for himself as a promising young wrestler. His dedication to the sport was evident early on. While other kids were playing video games or relaxing after school, Cayden was putting in extra hours on the mat, refining his techniques, and studying the best wrestlers to elevate his game. This foundation set him up for the high school success that would follow and eventually propel him into collegiate wrestling and beyond. As Cayden Henschel entered high school at West Bend East, his wrestling career reached new levels of intensity. His father, Brent Henschel, now his head coach, played a major role in shaping his development, pushing him to refine his technique and build the mental toughness necessary for success. While wrestling was already deeply ingrained in Cayden's life, high school presented new challenges: stronger competition, higher stakes, and the pressure to prove himself on a bigger stage. Cayden's freshman year was a time of adjustment. The shift from middle school to high school wrestling was drastic. Athletes were stronger, more experienced, and physically more developed. Though he had spent years training, he had to adapt quickly to keep up with the more seasoned competitors. Cayden won his sectional to move on to the state tournament. Although he lost in his first match, Cayden had a great season, going 41-5. By his sophomore year, Cayden had found his rhythm. He had developed his technique, built his strength, and gained the confidence to compete at a high level. That season, he qualified for the WIAA individual state tournament again and proved that he could contend with the best in Wisconsin. He didn't just qualify, he placed, showing that he was on the path to something special. This achievement motivated him even further, making him hungry for a state title in the years to come. Cayden's junior year was supposed to be his breakout season. After placing at state as a sophomore, expectations were high, both from those around him and from himself. However, in an unexpected turn, he failed to qualify for the state tournament. It was a crushing blow. For an elite competitor like Cayden, falling short of his goal was devastating. That season tested him in ways beyond just wrestling. He had to face the reality of disappointment, the feeling of not living up to his own expectations. He had worked tirelessly, yet when the time came, he wasn't standing on the mat at the state championships. But instead of letting that failure define him, Cayden used it as motivation. He channeled his frustration into his training, determined to come back stronger for his senior year. Everything changed in Cayden's senior year. After the heartbreak of his junior season, he rededicated himself to his craft. He fine-tuned his technique, improved his conditioning, and entered the season with a new mindset. He wasn't going to let anything stop him from achieving his dream. That year, Cayden dominated. He stormed through the competition and reached the WIAA individual state tournament once again. But this time, he didn't just place. He won it all. Wrestling at 138 pounds, he captured the Division I state title, winning 4-2 and cementing his place in West Bend East history. By the end of his high school career, Cayden had compiled an incredible record of 181 wins and 15 losses, making him the second winningest wrestler in school history. He also recorded 78 career pins, tying him for fourth in school history in that category. His journey from a determined freshman to a state champion senior was a testament to his resilience, work ethic, and passion for the sport. While wrestling was Cayden's main focus in high school, another passion was beginning to take shape: content creation. It all started with his close friend and teammate, Crosby Schlosser. Crosby had started vlogging, and Cayden, seeing the potential of YouTube as a platform, was inspired to try it himself. At first, his channel featured a mix of wrestling and travel content. He was simply experimenting, having fun documenting his journey as a wrestler and sharing it with the world. However, what started as a side project quickly became something he was passionate about. Despite an early setback, his first YouTube channel was unexpectedly terminated. After 72 videos and nearly 9 months of work, Cayden refused to quit. Just as he had done in wrestling, he bounced back, starting a new channel and building an even bigger audience. The combination of his skills on the mat and his engaging personality on camera made him a natural fit for YouTube. As his channel grew, so did his influence, and soon, he wasn't just known as a state champion wrestler. He was becoming a leading voice in the wrestling community online. But his wrestling career wasn't over yet. With his high school success behind him, he committed to the University of Wisconsin-Parkside, eager to test himself at the next level. His freshman year at Parkside in 2020 to 2021 was anything but ideal. The COVID-19 pandemic disrupted college athletics, limiting training opportunities and changing how the season was structured. For a young wrestler transitioning from high school to the college level, this made an already difficult adjustment even tougher. The pace was faster, the opponents were stronger, and success didn't come as easily. He finished the season with a 1-3 record, a tough pill to swallow for someone used to winning. But Cayden didn't let that define him. As he moved into his redshirt freshman year, he began finding his footing. He ended the season with a 13-12 record. Not groundbreaking, but a clear step in the right direction. He also earned Scholar All-American honors, showing his ability to balance wrestling and academics. The improvement continued in his redshirt sophomore year, where he went 27-5, won his regional bracket, and qualified for the tournament for the first time. It was a breakthrough moment, proving he could compete at a national level. During this time, Cayden wasn't just growing as a wrestler. His YouTube channel was starting to take off. He had always enjoyed making videos, but now, with the NCAA's new NIL rules, allowing college athletes to monetize their name and image, he had an opportunity to turn his passion for content creation into something bigger. His videos, which ranged from wrestling technique breakdowns to match vlogs, started gaining traction. Soon, he was landing sponsorship deals with companies like Barbell Apparel and HelloFresh, bringing in real income from his online presence. His redshirt junior year continued his upward trajectory. He went 22-5 and once again qualified for the NCAA tournament, proving that his previous season wasn't a fluke. At this point, wrestling and YouTube were running side by side, each fueling the other. His online following exploded, and by 2023, I'm guessing he was making 6 figures from content creation alone. He had successfully built a brand around himself, something few wrestlers had ever done at this level. As he entered his redshirt senior year, the expectations were higher than ever. He was ranked first in the nation in his weight class and had his sights set on an NCAA title. He started the season strong, going 31-3, but in a shocking turn, he failed to qualify for the tournament after 2 losses at Super Regionals. It was a devastating moment. For years, everything had been building toward this, and now it was over. Instead of letting it break him, Cayden leaned on his faith. He had always been vocal about his belief in God, but this was when it mattered most. He took to social media, sharing his mindset after the loss, saying, "Sometimes you just lose. That's wrestling. That's life. This mentality of using every setback as motivation had carried him through his entire career, from not making state as a junior to becoming an NCAA qualifier and a full-time content creator. Before his senior season, he and Crosby Schlosser launched the Clash of Combat podcast. What started as a way to talk about wrestling and connect with other athletes quickly became one of the most popular wrestling podcasts, featuring guests ranging from college standouts to Olympic-level competitors. As his wrestling career has to an end, Clash of Combat will most likely become an even bigger part of his success, alongside his YouTube channel, where he continues to grow his audience. Cayden's journey through wrestling was filled with highs and lows, triumphs and setbacks, but through it all, he built something even greater than just an athletic career. While his time competing on the mat has come to an end, his passion for the sport and for storytelling has only grown stronger. Now, with his focus fully on content creation, he's more committed than ever to growing his brand and bringing wrestling to a wider audience. He's made it clear that stepping away from competition isn't the end. It's actually an opportunity. Without the demands of training, cutting weight, and preparing for matches, he now has the time and energy to put even more into his videos, his podcast, and his online presence. He stated that he'll be able to make even better content than before, with more creative freedom and the ability to travel, collaborate, and explore different aspects of the wrestling world that he couldn't while competing. But beyond his career, Cayden has also built something even more important: a family. He's married to Kelsey, the person who has supported him through the ups and downs of both wrestling and content creation. As he moves forward in this next chapter of life, he has her by his side, adding even more purpose to what he's doing. His journey is proof that life doesn't stop when one chapter ends. He's taken everything he's learned from wrestling, the discipline, the mindset, the resilience, and applied it to his new path. Whether it's through Clash of Combat, his YouTube channel, or whatever new projects he takes on, Cayden isn't just moving on from wrestling, he's bringing the sport with him in a way that no one else has. His impact on wrestling is only beginning, and with his passion and creativity, the best is yet to come.